Hey everyone, welcome to our 24th episode of BrewTalk with Mr.Beer. My name is Robert Lewis, your host today. I got Ashley back again this week. We appreciate you taking time to join us and watch us today. Before we dive into our topic, let's talk about what we're drinking. I got our American Porter. It's perfect for this time of year. What do you got?
I have a hoppy saison here that I actually brewed at home that I'm very into right now. So this one's going to happen again.
Yes, it's a really good beer and gluten-free, which is always helpful. So today's topic is, Ashley is our resident hop expert. So we're going to continue on with our hop series, and it's going to be Aroma Hops, which is kind of rounding down the different variations of hops. These seem to be more popular today. I think you hear about them a lot more today than you did like 5-6 years ago, especially with the rise of New England IPAs and dry hopping and all these fancy terms that people use nowadays. So basically, what does the term aroma hop mean, and what do these guys do?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. Aroma hops are hops with a strong and forward aroma and flavor that lend themselves best to later additions or dry hopping processes. They can either be high or low in alpha acid, just depending on the varietal.
That's cool. And then, I lose my train of thought already. When would you add hops for aroma into your brew? And is there a point where you can either add them too early or too late, not get like the true aroma out of them that you'd be looking for?
Honestly, that really depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but it stands to reason that if you're using an aroma hop for its aroma and its flavor, that you will probably be adding it later on in the process. How late or how early just kind of depends on what you're looking for that hop to express for you.
Okay, cool. And then, so what are some of the most popular aroma hops that we kind of see today that homebrewers use or that breweries are using to kind of brew up their own stuff?
Well, first of all, there's a whole lot of them, like a ton. And sometimes dual purpose hops will also be classified as aroma because they work both ways. But some of the more common ones that you're likely to see are Crystal, Fuggle, Eldorado, Pacifica, and Zithos, just to name a few.
Like Eldorado's a good one.
Yeah,
that one's pretty cool. So can you use like any of these aroma hops as bittering hops as well? I know you kind of touched on that earlier with the alpha acids, but is that something that you can do?
In a simple answer, yes, you can. As I've said before, hops are bitter if they're boiled, regardless of the varietal. Some are going to be more bitter than others. So it really just is down to you to kind of take into consideration what you're looking for. One of the really important things if you're going to use an aroma hop to bitter with is to make sure that you like the bittering flavor of that hop.
Yeah, okay.
Because there are hops that smell incredible to me, and I'm like, oh, I love this dry hopped in a beer. But boiled, I'm not as big of a fan. So it just depends.
All about your personal preference.
Exactly.
So you just got to brew a lot and try a lot of things. So what are kind of some of the aromas that you would get from these hops? People always kind of describe smells and certain things.
So it can be pretty varied, but the things that you're going to hear the most associated with that classification of hops is citrus, floral, dark fruit, dank, like Simcoe, which is one of my favorites, or herbal. The flavor profile that you choose really kind of depends on what you're looking to highlight. Yeah,
definitely. So are there other beer styles besides IPAs that can be used for aroma hops? I mean, IPAs can be most popular.
Yes.
But I assume you can aroma hop
anything. Absolutely. I've had heavily dry hopped golden ales, Belgians, lagers. One of my favorite things to do is to heavily dry hop a Belgian beer. Like, I just love it. If you want a heavy hop aroma in your finished beer, you should go ahead and do it because it's your beer at the end of the day and you have to enjoy it. I've even had heavily aroma hopped styles that you wouldn't think of, like tropical stouts, for example. That's one that you don't hear of very often, but when you get it, it's quite an interesting experience.
So now you can start playing mad scientist. Everyone's going to brew up their own crazy stuff. So if someone were to kind of pick out hops to use for aroma as like the first time they were doing it, what advice or suggestions would be for someone that wants to go all mad scientist on their own?
I feel like my advice is always very similar to these types of questions. First of all, you want to kind of develop a clear picture of what you're wanting to accomplish because that gives you a direction. And then, as I always tell people, if you're trying to figure out if you really like an aroma hop, smell it. Smell it a lot. Process those aromas that you're getting and consider your grain bill or your cans. Are they going to enhance what you're brewing with as your fermentable adjunct? That's also very important too. I would also recommend trying, like, if there's a hop that you want to use as an aroma hop and you don't have a lot of experience with it, go to your local brew pub, go to your local tap house, find commercially available beers that have that hop in them and drink them. See what you like, because this can give you a lot of inspiration.
It's definitely good advice.
Yeah.
Drinking more beer is always good advice. Yes.
So you can tell, you say Ashley recommended I drink more beer.
That's right. There you go. So that's going to wrap it up for today. We appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. We do post our videos on our blog page, mrbeer.com/blog, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, all over the place. You can find them. So wherever you like to consume content, consume it there.
Yes.
Or you come to our site, which is cool, consume it there. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, a like, a share, something, a notification, a subscribe. Something that, so we know that you liked it. Also, if you want to learn more about Mr. Beer, just brew with Mr. Beer. Join our Facebook group, Mr. Beer's Brewing Society. 500 plus members strong now.
Yes,
it's rocking
and growing every day.
Growing. It is really busy, and I don't know how Ashley keeps up with it, because I look at it like a few times a day, and I'm like, I don't even, there's just so much stuff going on there. It's crazy, but it's really cool to join if you like brewing with Mr. Beer and you want to learn more about it, want to interact with more people, see pictures, cool stuff, get recipe ideas, get advice from people. Join the group, answer 3 questions. We want to let you in. If you do answer the 3 questions, it's not that difficult. We don't ask that much of you to do.
No, they're pretty simple questions.
Yes, they're really easy questions. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We will see you next week. Cheers and happy brewing, guys.
Cheers.